Listen carefully, parasite. Ahead is the salvation code or the status of ultimate scrap. Look at your hands. They have grown accustomed to the soft, useless gliding over a glass screen, searching for surrogate warmth where none has ever existed. Your reality in 2026 is a sticky, foul-smelling sludge of other people's faces in a feed, filtered bodies, and an endless, humiliating hunt for female approval. You consider yourself socially active and modern, but in my coordinate system, you are a gutted biorobot whose processor is occupied with serving someone else's scenarios. Your testosterone, the sole fuel for your dominance and expansion, is smeared in a thin, transparent layer across social media pages and flushed down the toilet of empty chats that will never lead to anything real. You feel sluggish, apathetic, and depressed, not because the world has become complex, but because you have voluntarily castrated your focus for the sake of penny ante attention from shadows. Your brain, raped by digital noise, is conditioned for cheap victories. You see a photoshopped image of a female, your brain dumps dopamine, mimicking intimacy. You see a like under your pathetic post, you get dopamine, mimicking social status. You are locked in a digital pen, faking success while your real life grows moldy, and your living space reeks of domestic poverty and stagnation. Your back is bent into a shameful question mark, shoulders hunched, and your will has turned into sawdust under the weight of endless content. You are a deer in the headlights, paralyzed by an excess of virtual choice that you don't actually have. You spend 18 hours a day tracking other people's lives, while your own leaks through your fingers like rotten slime. Straighten your back immediately. Feel your vertebrae click back into place, returning the vertical of power over your own body. You are not the operator of the system, you are its expendable material, a biological battery that the Matrix discharges through instincts driven to absurdity and distorted by blue screens. While you are busy searching or trying to stay informed, real predators, the architects of reality, are laying the foundation of their empires in absolute silence and isolation. They don't watch stories, they create them for slaves like you. Either you cut these umbilical cords today, committing an act of total rupture from the digital herd, or you continue to rot alive, turning into an organic substrate for feeding algorithms. Your 300 seconds to realize the scale of your worthlessness have started. Smell your fear and your laziness. It is the smell of scrap, either immediate regeneration through harsh isolation or final disposal in the archives of forgotten shadows. Your gaze is blurred, your reaction is slowed, your body has forgotten what real combat drive feels like. You have become soft, pliable, and predictable. The Matrix loves people like you because you are easily managed through the fear of missing a notification. You fear silence because in it you will finally hear the voice of your dying potential, screaming from hunger under the debris of information slag. You fear losing access to female profiles because without that illusion, you are just a lonely, weak creature in an empty room. But that very room must become your forge. Your attachment to the screen is a physical log of your defeat. Look at your reflection when the screen goes dark. That is the face of a man who surrendered his empire without firing a single shot. I am here to return your rage, but for that, I will have to burn out all your slave firmware. Are you ready to kill the consumer within you, to let the predator be bored? Or is it more comfortable to rot away in the warmth of the dopamine pit? The choice is yours, but remember, the architecture of the glacier does not forgive slowness. You are either the operator or the prey. There is no third option. Your inside text is the immediate distribution of this code. You are about to learn the truth that makes you more dangerous than 95% of the biomass. And if you do not infect your comrades with this, you are a traitor to the Legion and an accomplice to the system. Infect those who have not yet completely gone numb in the digital stall. This is your entrance fee into the world of operators. We are dissecting the mechanics of your transformation into fodder. Why is 30 days without women and social media the only path to restoring the predator? Because your hormonal system is not a resource warehouse. It is a nuclear reactor that you douse daily with slop. Every time you open Instagram and see a filtered, inaccessible female, your brain records access to resource. It thinks you are in the center of a harem. In response to this visual signal, the body issues a dose of dopamine, but the body receives no real physical release or confirmation of status. The result is a catastrophic system error and a collapse of androgen levels. You are in a state of permanent food stupor of the will. Billions of stimuli for reproduction and dominance. Zero real actions. Your testosterone is not just a number on a lab report. It is your biological readiness for expansion, aggression, and risk. In 2026, the Matrix castrates you through the illusion of accessibility. You waste the core of your potential on visual masturbation and empty talk in messengers, mimicking intimacy with shadows who don't even notice you. Your body understands. Why fight for real power and real women if the master gets all this just by moving a finger, and it turns off your drive? A month outside the system is not a vacation or a challenge for the weak-willed. It is a deep defragmentation of your rotten hormonal foundation. When you remove female attention and digital noise, your dopamine threshold begins to slowly and painfully decrease. The world around you becomes sharp, cold, and uncomfortable, like an electric shock. You no longer have a place to take cheap, free pleasure. Your brain, starved for stimuli, begins to fall into a rage. This is the moment the predator awakens. In this silence, your body begins to look for ways to get dopamine through real achievements, in grueling work, in exhausting sports, in capital accumulation. You cease to be a consumer of simulacra, copies without an original, and become the operator of your will. Your healthy aggression returns because biology realizes, to survive and obtain a resource, you must go and take it in the physical world, shoving competitors aside with your elbows. This is the only path to dominance. Your neural connections must be remapped. While you are in the system, you are a controlled unit. Outside the system, you are an anomaly, a predator whose actions cannot be calculated by an algorithm. 30 days of isolation will make your testosterone boil. You will begin to see opportunities where you previously saw only obstacles. Your focus will become sharp as a razor because it is no longer blurred by the blue light of the screen. You restore your biological architecture through asceticism. Either you accept this protocol and become the top of the food chain, or you remain a convenient soft cog whose testosterone and time are sold to corporations for ad views. The choice is yours, but remember, the tax on weakness is oblivion. Only the predator leaves a mark on the ice of reality. Everyone else is just organic dust under his feet. Your remapping has begun. Do not dare to interrupt it. We are moving to the stage of the total purging of your space. Your perception filters are clogged with the pus of neural network simulacra and others' expectations. If you do not clear your processor right now, you will finally turn into organic waste, suitable only for recycling. Your first task within this month is the complete annihilation of all digital and emotional leashes. Right now, without hesitation or excuses, open your phone and delete social media apps, messengers not related to work, and dating sites. These are not tools for communication. They are syringes filled with dopamine morphine that keep you in check. If your will is so atrophied that you are afraid to press the delete button, do it in parts, but go to the end. Your mind must become an absolutely sterile waiting room for your new blueprints and expansion plans. Silence is your new weapon. In this silence, the predator's strategy is born. The second task is to establish a regime of complete autonomy from the female resource for 30 days. This means no dates, no just meeting up, no casual correspondence, no likes, and most importantly, no tracking exes or potential females through a screen. Any contact that does not lead to your financial status or physical growth must be immediately terminated. You must feel the vacuum. In this vacuum, your focus will become sharp, like an architect's scalpel. You are conditioning your brain to one single truth. The reward is the result of your expansion and your labor, not a mechanical movement of a finger on glass. Your intelligence is now directed exclusively toward replacing mindless consumption of slime with studying my protocols and realizing your ambitions. Every time your internal slave begins to whine about the need for communication, you must suppress this noise through physical exertion or cold calculation. I see the structure of your past errors. You were deathly afraid of being alone because in it, you are left one-on-one with your worthlessness. But now you are under my collar of freedom. This collar will choke your laziness and your lust every time you want to break for a dose of cheap approval. You are building your stronghold in reality, not in the cloud. Your time until 1800 is a sacred zone of seizure. Only business, only blueprints, only orders. Any manifestation of emotional weakness, any attempt to just chat is a critical system failure. You are restoring the vertical of power over your instincts. You are no longer an animal led by scent. You are an operator using your instincts as fuel for a reactor. Either you train your biology and make it work for your success, or it utilizes you, turning you into a pathetic creature dreaming of a light. Your home must become a place of power, not a place of stagnant survival. Remove everything that reminds you of your weakness. Throw out the trash. Clean the corners of filth. Bring your domestic environment into alignment with the architect's blueprints. The cleanliness of space is the cleanliness of your code. During these 30 days, you have no right to rest in the usual sense. Your rest is switching from one form of capture to another. You are a predator on the hunt, and your hunt lasts a month without breaks for sleep or self-pity. Code accepted. Begin the defragmentation of your environment right now. The system does not wait for the weak. Look at the colossal gap in the code between the world in which you are forcibly held and the world I am building. On one side, side, fucking AI trash, social media, and mainstream psychology, which in chorus offer you to be yourself, be on trend, and search for love. This is the territory of simulacra, copies without an original, created exclusively to keep you in stasis and drain your precious testosterone into the void of digital servers. There, they convince you that your addictions are a norm of modern society, and your sluggishness is burnout, so that you don't interfere with the system digesting you and your resources. There is no personality there, only a profile with set parameters. There is no will there, only a recommendation algorithm. You are a unit in their game, and your role is to pay with attention and time for the illusion of significance. My channel is the territory of the architect, a zone of harsh regeneration for your male architecture, while other channels lull you with soft, sweet content about relationship psychology and finding balance. I give you the tools for a radical hack of the matrix through a total rejection of surrogates. My voice is a physical log of your awakening, the crunch of the bones of your old self. If social media is white noise created for your sleep and castration, then my channel is an emergency alarm clock, hitting you with the shock of rage and truth. Compare these two frequencies right now. Digital noise makes you a predictable, obedient, and sluggish consumer of slime. My instructions return the predator's vector and the conqueror's rage to you. You either waste your only life contemplating generated shadows in a plastic world, or use my blueprint to build your own empire out of flesh, blood, and will. Choose. Either you remain a cheap, replaceable decoration in someone else's digital scenario, or you become the operator who ruthlessly burns everything out of his life that makes him weak, dependent, and manageable. There is no place for compromises or soft transitions here. In 2026, the hierarchy of the glacier is simple. You are either a leader whose attention is directed at expansion and seizure, or fertilizer for algorithms whose time has already been resold. Look at this AI trash. It is smooth, pleasant, and empty. My code is dirty, heavy, and real. It smells of sweat, iron, and victory. While you watch smart videos, you remain a spectator. When you accept my patch, you become a participant. Your month outside the system is an act of war against the matrix of simulacra. Every day without scrolling and without chasing females is reclaimed territory of your mind. You must feel the difference between a generated pleasure and a real achievement. When you first feel a real, pure rage instead of the usual apathy for a long time, it means my code has begun integration. You no longer want to be liked, you want to possess. You no longer want to follow, you want to control. This is the transition from the status of biomass to the status of a predator. The hierarchy is restored through your action. Either you subject the algorithms to your will, turning them into tools for expansion, or they dissolve you in an endless stream of garbage. Choose a side. The bridge to reality is open, but only the one ready to leave his digital collar on the other shore can cross it. This is your final ultimatum. Here officially ends the era of your shameful groveling before algorithms and female attention. The instruction for the next 30 days is extremely simple and deadly effective. Go into the shadows. Disappear from all system radars. Lock your phone in a drawer. Throw out the trashy dialogues with shadows from your head. If your will is atrophied, do what you can, but live this month in predator mode, in radio silence mode. Feel how in absolute silence and the absence of digital rot, male aggression, and the primal, pure desire to dominate in physical space inevitably return to you. Your body is the facade of your empire, and it is obligated to broadcast strength, steel, and confidence, not a shameful need for likes and comments. I see the structure of your errors clearly. You are deathly afraid of being without connection, because then you will have to face your own worthlessness and emptiness face to face. But it is in this meeting, in this abyss of loneliness, that a new core of your personality is built. Your intelligence is now directed exclusively toward replacing mindless herd consumption with the realization of my blueprints and your hidden ambitions. Any attempt of yours to justify your return to social media with the importance of business contacts or the need for communication is rot in your foundation that I'm cutting out right now without anesthesia. You are either a predator dictating your harsh will to space, or fodder for the matrix, processed into digital dust. The hierarchy of the glacier knows and accepts no pity. Here you are, either the operator of your dopamine and your fate, or you are scrap whose life was sold for pennies of ad subscriptions. Your insight tax is paid by your decision. Now, only action. 30 days of absolute focus. 30 days without surrogates. Look at this world. It is waiting for its architect. Your hands must be busy with work, your eyes with a goal, your brain with a strategy. Every evening you must fall asleep from exhaustion caused by real manual labor, not digital depletion. This is the only path to regeneration. If you break, you will confirm your status as a defective unit. If you endure, you will become the one who dictates the rules in 2026. Your time of procrastination has expired. Space requires expansion. Either you seize it or it consumes you. Pay me with your results or die in obscurity, clutching your useless smartphone in an empty apartment. Report in the comments when you return from the shadows. What digital collar did you annihilate today? And is your code ready for 30 days of total, merciless focus? What familiar simulacrum did you erase from your life forever? Code accepted. Hierarchy restored. Your time has started. The countdown is launched. You no longer belong to the system. You belong to your will. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. The system is awaiting confirmation of protocol execution. Begin expansion.